Imagine this. You walk into a room full of people. The energy is high. People are laughing, conversations are flowing, and everyone seems to know exactly where they belong. You spot a group of women at the bar chatting, sipping their drinks, glancing around. You gather your confidence, walk up and say, "Hey, how's your night going?" One woman glances at you, gives a polite smile, and then turns back to her friend without answering. Another one looks at her drink as if it suddenly became the most interesting thing in the room. You stand there for a second, waiting for a response, but the energy is clear. You are invisible. Now, across the room, there's another guy. He isn't even trying. He's just talking casually, yet women are locked in on him. They're leaning in when he speaks, laughing at his jokes, and subtly competing for his attention. Why? Is it his looks? His money? Some secret pickup line? It's about presence. It's about respect. And here's the harsh truth. Women don't randomly decide who to respect and who to ignore. They sense something, a subtle but powerful energy that tells them whether a man is worthy of their attention or not. Some men radiate confidence, self-respect, and power without saying a word. Others give off insecurity, neediness, and weakness before they even open their mouths. If you've ever been ignored, ghosted, or rejected, it's not random. It's because, on some level, you were giving off the wrong energy. But here's the good news. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this happens, and more importantly, how to fix it. So sit tight, because we're about to flip the script. Now, before we talk about how to command respect, we need to understand the most painful part. Why do some men get ignored, while others instantly attract attention? Most guys assume it's because they're not good-looking enough or don't have money. But here's the truth. Attraction and respect start before a single word is spoken. Women aren't ignoring you because of your face, your bank account, or even what you say. They're ignoring you because of the energy you project. And that energy comes from three critical mistakes. 1. Seeking validation instead of leading. Have you ever seen a guy who agrees with everything a woman says? "Oh, you love astrology? Me too, I totally believe in it. You're into yoga? Wow, I love yoga. I just did a downward-facing dog yesterday. You think pineapple on pizza is disgusting? Same. Even though I totally just ate it last week." He thinks he's being relatable, but in reality, he's being forgettable. Why? Because when you seek approval, you lose respect. Women don't want a follower, they want a leader. Now, I'm not saying you have to be an arrogant jerk who argues just for the sake of it, but if you're afraid to have your own opinion, you instantly lower your value. Here's the test. The next time you're in a conversation, don't be afraid to say, "Nah, I don't agree with that." Watch her reaction. She might argue, she might challenge you, but deep down, she'll respect you more. 2. Weak body language and nervous energy. Let me ask you something. When you walk into a room, do people feel your presence? Or do you shrink into the background, avoiding eye contact, hands in your pockets, hoping nobody notices you? Body language is more powerful than words. You could be the most interesting, successful man in the world, but if you move like a shy teenager meeting his girlfriend's dad for the first time, women will instantly sense low value. Let me paint two pictures for you. Scenario 1, the man who gets ignored. Walks in with his shoulders slightly slumped. Looks around nervously, checking his phone every few seconds. When he talks, his voice is low, unsure, maybe a little too fast. Women take one look at him and think, "This guy doesn't trust himself, so why should I?" Scenario 2. The man who commands respect. Walks in slowly and deliberately, as if he owns the space. Stands tall, shoulders back, chin up, makes direct eye contact and smiles with confidence, not desperation. Speaks slowly and with purpose, as if his words actually matter. Women don't just notice this guy, they feel his presence. 3. Talking too much and trying too hard. You ever meet a guy who just won't stop talking? Like he's explaining everything, telling jokes, oversharing details about his life, just filling the silence like his life depends on it. Here's the brutal truth. Men who command respect don't try to impress people. They let people come to them. The next time you're in a conversation, practice silence. Instead of rushing to fill every gap, pause. Let the moment breathe. It creates mystery, intrigue, and confidence. Confident men don't rush. Unless you're on a game show and the timer is running out, there's no reason to talk that fast. Alright, now that we've exposed the mistakes that get men ignored, let's talk about the real game changer. How to command respect without trying too hard, without faking confidence, and without changing who you are. Because here's the thing, respect isn't something you ask for. It's something you radiate. And in the next part of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Because once you understand these principles, you'll never be ignored again. Let's dive in. How to command respect effortlessly. Alright, now that we've exposed the mistakes that get men ignored, it's time to flip the script. How How do you become the man that naturally commands respect? How do you walk into a room and instantly attract attention without saying a word? Let's break it down step by step. 1. Become a man of purpose. Let me ask you a question. If I took away your phone, your job, and all distractions, would you still have something that drives you? Or would you just sit around, bored, wondering what to do next? Here's a hard truth. Men who don't have a purpose become emotionally needy. They crave validation from women because they don't have something bigger driving them. But men with purpose, they don't chase, they don't beg for attention, because they have something bigger to focus on. Women instantly respect men who are driven, not just financially, but mentally, physically, emotionally. It could be your career, your fitness, your art, your vision for the future, whatever it is. Own it. And here's the best part. When you're deeply focused on your mission, you automatically become more attractive. Why? Because you're no longer seeking validation. You're too busy building something great. And trust me, women notice. 2. Master the art of non-reactivity. Ever been in a situation where someone tried to test you? Maybe a woman playfully teases you, challenging you to see how you'll react. Or maybe a guy at the bar tries to act dominant, cracking a joke at your expense. Most men react immediately, defending themselves, getting emotional, or trying to explain. But men who command respect do something different. They stay unfazed. They let the moment breathe. They don't rush to prove themselves. Think about James Bond. Does he ever get flustered? He responds slowly, smoothly, and with power. Here's a test. The next time someone challenges you, instead of reacting instantly, pause, take a second, smirk, say something calm and unexpected. 3. The power of walking away. Now, this is the ultimate test of self-respect. If someone disrespects you, do you try to win their approval? Get emotional and argue? Calmly remove yourself and move on? If you picked C, congratulations. You already get it. Nothing commands more respect than a man who knows when to walk away. Because here's the secret. When you show that you don't need someone's validation, they start to chase yours. You see this all the time. A guy who stops caring about a woman who ghosted him suddenly gets a "Hey, stranger" text. A man who confidently sets boundaries finds that people start respecting him more. Women test men all the time. They don't do it because they're mean. They do it instinctively to see if you're strong. If you fail the test, you lose value, men. But if you stay calm and unbothered, you gain instant respect. All right, we've covered the mistakes that make men invisible. We've broken down the key traits that command respect. But now, we're getting into the biggest game changer of all. Because even if you apply everything I just told you, there's still one final piece of the puzzle that separates the men who barely get noticed from the men who dominate every room they walk into. This is the real reason some men never get ignored, and trust me, once you master this, your life will never be the same again. So, what's the final key? What makes some men stand out effortlessly while others fade into the background? It's something so simple, yet so powerful, that most guys completely ignore it. It's called the energy of indifference. Let me explain. Most men try too hard. They overthink their words, they analyze every little move, they care too much about what people think, and women can feel it. But the men who never get ignored have one thing in common. They genuinely don't care about impressing people. And this is the paradox. When you stop caring about getting respect, you automatically start getting it. When you walk into a room and think, "I'm already enough. I don't need to prove myself." People sense it, women sense it, and that's when the game changes. This isn't about pretending, it's about rewiring your mindset so that you naturally stop seeking validation. Here's how you do it. Step 1. Stop explaining yourself. You don't need to justify your choices. If someone asks, "Why do you do that?" just say, "Because I like it." Step 2. Embrace awkward silence. Next time you're in a conversation, let there be pauses. Most people rush to fill silence. Don't. Hold eye contact. Stay comfortable in the pause. Step 3. Do things that scare you. Go out alone. Say no more often. Practice not reacting to people's opinions. The more you do this, the less you'll care about external validation. And once you master this, you'll notice something crazy. People will start seeking your validation instead. If you found this valuable, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.